is up? This is the Silver Screen Savants horror review number 11 already. Early double digits for the horror stuff.
Yeah.
And this is A Nightmare on Elm Street, which came out in 1984. This was my first time seeing this movie. I think you had said before this was my pick this week, and I get another pick next week or something like that. I can't remember the whole.
Mainly because this was one that I know that Neko wanted to be on. So,
hi, Brownie.
It's my special one.
And
So you got me.
I was introduced to Freddy first, I believe, in Freddy versus Jason, which is a pretty good movie in my opinion.
mm-hmm.
I like the flying. I like the flying effect that you have with that one. But this is not about that. This is about Freddy's origins. This is about who Freddy Krueger is. Who he is a sadistic, psychotic serial killer.
Child killer, specifically.
Child killer, yeah.
So today was your very first time watching A Nightmare on Elm Street.
But I've seen, I think I've seen the kill counts on YouTube before of the movie. So, I mean, yes, Jason has a tragic backstory as well. I agree with what Brony just said about Jason. Oh boy, Kevin's doing the chant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we love Kevin, of course.
Yeah. I am a fan of the director Wes Craven in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen the Screams, but I did get the chance before to check out the Hills of Eyes franchise that he has done. And I've seen the original and I've seen the remake also. So I kind of got introduced to his style and stuff before with the Hills of Eyes, which were pretty solid movies in my opinion. I like how you can go to different genres of horror like he does. Like you got the slashers and the Scream, and then you got in the Freddy movies, and then you go into the cannibalistic route in the Hills of Eyes and all that stuff as well. So I mean, he really brought a different style each movie of horror, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's cool because he got the inspiration from a real life story where I forget where he said he was reading the article.
Cambodian refugees.
Yeah, they were actually like dying in their sleep from nightmares, and so he kind of took inspiration from that to create this film.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that was kind of cool, a way to approach something like this, because I remember always kind of like when I first saw the poster, I was like, this looks kind of terrible.
Sorry, you were a little upset.
I saw I was like the cover of the poster was pretty scary. And my mom, when I was with her at the time, I was about 15, I think. She's like, well, why don't we rent this? I'm like, okay, let's check it out. And I remember watching, I was like, wow, this is disturbing as fuck. The guy that's playing Freddy is fucking amazing. This is before I knew who Robert Englund was. So it was quite a shock to see this film the way it was at the time.
Robert?
Yeah, I was under 10 when I saw it for the first time. I mean, I was a kid. I was not bothered by it, so I don't know if that makes me a serial killer or not. But my girlfriend and I, we were obsessed with everything Freddy Krueger, like nonstop. We even had a Ken doll that we made our Freddy Ken doll, and he would, go around killing the Barbies. So I've been
how cool that glove is.
It is a really cool glove.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the lower. This is the lower end one, but it's real metal.
Yeah.
Oh, it's real metal.
So I got a question. Why
just flat?
So why does Freddy not have like a 5-finger glove and just has a 4-finger? Is it really? I mean,
because it would have been difficult to operate. So it's sort of the same reason why you see like Wolverine or something like that, because unlike a werewolf or something,
Yeah, like it would have had to be a lot more engineered because of how the thumb is
yeah.
on the hand.
And plus, I think slashing wise, it's been hard because the way the blade would be going is different than the other four, and so you'd be slashing a really weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Is this one franchise? Do you see them doing a new direction for Freddy in the future?
The Craven family has the rights now, and I don't personally see them licensing them because they have turned down offers.
I mean, they tried with the remake, which I refused to watch. Like,
Well, Anthony's one that came out there kind of liking it. So.
Well, I didn't kind of like it. I just think Jackie Earl Haley tried his best with what he was given.
Right.
yeah, I couldn't. I have so many fond memories of all of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies,
Like-
on top of Freddy's Nightmares. Watching that
Even
every
Rob,
week.
even Robert, I know he wasn't too kind to the movie, but he was complimentary of Jackie Earl Haley.
Do you know that question? It's in the chat.
No, he wouldn't have been inspired by Freddy. Wouldn't have been inspired by Ed Gein, but the two real life influences were a creepy homeless guy Robert seen looking out his window late one night, and the name Freddy Krueger was a childhood bully.
Oh wow! See, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Yeah, like the homeless guy, he just looked out and got terrified of that guy, and he said he could tell the guy was like getting a real thrill seeing he was terrified of him.
Did he have the red and green sweater too?
That I'm not sure.
I want to know where the idea for the red, like, it's iconic. Who came up with the red and green stripe?
Big grungy hat.
Yeah, and
I forget the detail, but there's actually something like scientific about those colors and that pattern that it affects the mind in a certain way.
I would ask Robert that question. That's a question I would like to ask Robert. Where did you come up with the idea for your character? Because Craven's not living anymore, I believe. So you can't ask. You know what I mean?
Oh well, I think that Langenkamp or England himself. I mean, if you talk to him today, they could tell you insights to what Wes felt about the character in the franchise. I mean, it was funny because when he did the new Nightmare, I thought, wow, I don't know if he can actually reboot it, but he actually did a pretty good job with it, and kind of resurging it a little bit with that particular movie. But yeah, I don't know. Like, this movie is just such a classic, and whenever people talk about someone doing Freddy, I'm like, I just don't think it's possible. Like, it's so different than Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, where you can have different people underneath the mask, but the mannerisms and the way that Robert Englund portrayed Freddy is just so hard to emulate. And I love Jackie R. Hurley. I do. I love him from his Rorschach and Watchmen and stuff, but seeing him trying to do a character that I think is just too iconic is very, very difficult.
mm-hmm.
Everybody, the name that I always hear that they want to see as Freddy is Kevin Bacon. That's the name I always hear going around a lot with Freddy.
No.
I mean, I hate to say no, because whenever I've heard Heath Ledger doing the Joker, I was like, no way. No way.
Now, Chuck Russell, who directed Part 3, would like to do another one, and he said he wants Jim Carrey as Freddy.
No. I don't know.
Again, I won't say no. I don't know. Like, it's hard these days because sometimes you go in thinking it's not going to work. I will say this, with Freddy, it's going to be very difficult. Like, I don't care who they try to get. With the Joker, you've had different Jokers over the years, so it didn't really matter when Heath did it. So, like, even, like, aside from Jared Leto, who sucked, but, the reality is, like, Freddy was one guy for so long that, like, it's just too damn hard to try to,
you need a good script first, which is the one thing, like, Jackie Earl Haley didn't have, although one compliment I'll give him, because he did do things to make it his own, and one little trait he does is synonymous with Freddy with me, where when he would be stalking his victims, he'd do this little scissors kick, moving the fingers back and forth, and like that on screen, that looks cool. That looked intimidating, and even though it was his thing, it's something I think of when I think of Freddy now.
Mhm.
Very interesting. I still don't know if I'm going to watch it.
To be honest, even though I'm complimentary towards him, it's an extremely boring movie.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, even if he did a good job, like if you don't have a good script, it's just going to show.
And if you look at the behind the scenes stuff, it was like he was the only one that actually wanted to be there.
Mhm.
Right.
So
That's really sad.
But this film, man, is like so legendary. Especially my favorites. One of my favorite scenes in the film is when Neko was watching it earlier to
Just as a refresh.
yeah.
uh-huh.
Is Tina, like, you know, her death scene early in the film, and then of course when Nancy goes out to the hallway at school and she's dreaming, and you see the body bag where Tina get pulled away and leave the blood marks on the ground. Like, I thought that's so creepy. It's one of the best things I like about the movie.
I like in earlier in the movie too, where Nancy's laying in bed and then from the ceiling he's like coming down. I know we watched that documentary on Nightmare on Elm Street, and they were showing how they were doing a lot of these effects. You got to think of how this is 84, so it's all practical, it's all wires, you know, and it was shot in a way that made it look like there was a ghost attacking someone. You know, it's I just
Spandex and
mm-hmm. And the when Tina was being killed and her boyfriend is like, there was somebody else in here, but I couldn't see him. Like, that was just, it was crazy.
actually, who I think could have done a good job as Freddy.
Hmm.
Remember the one kill he gets in Freddy versus Jason, and you see Fred Ward in that scene? When you look at his facial features and how he does that, like, I could see him actually being a strong candidate if they were to do another one.
Is he around the age? Do you want somebody young for Freddy, or do you want somebody older? That's the big question, you know, if a character like Freddy. You don't know his age, first off. So that's a good question. You don't know. Well, I mean, you want somebody of a range of acting, I think. Like a James Earl Jones, just for example, when they did Star Wars, you know, just throw an example out there. When they did Darth Vader, you had such a huge plethora of stuff before Star Wars that, you know, he was a well-known face.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. So Anthony might be able to remember this. So there was a particular nightmare film that showed a young Freddy Krueger with Robert Englund. It was like a flashback scene. Do you remember which one that was?
I think that would have been in Freddy's Dead.
Okay. So we know that at the time, especially with England at that time, he was still relatively young. So we would say, let's just guess and say he's in his late 20s or early 30s. So if you're going to do Freddy, it's got to be somebody around that age, because Freddy, now being dead, doesn't age. So he has to kind of remain like he was, like a burnt, crispy little crisp.
Yeah, but there's so much makeup, it doesn't really matter. Like,
yeah, but then you got weight. I mean, you have to find somebody who's, if you're going to go with an older guy, they have to be pretty thin.
mm-hmm.
Because the way we've seen Freddy in the past, he's a very thin guy, lanky. That's something that Robert Englund was really good at.
To an extent, though, the age can kind of matter, because like the last Hellraiser Doug Bradley did, like the head makeup's effect guard, probably because of how the skin changes when you get older, that it was a lot harder to keep the appliances on Doug because of that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Jim Carrey is Ginger to be doing.
Jim Carrey, what?
I don't know. Something Jetsons live action movie. I didn't know they were doing one.
They're doing it. What?
Yes, they're doing their
Oh,
Jetsons live action movie. Do we want to get?
Jim Carrey's been different since his ex-girlfriend committed suicide. So I can kind of see why he's kind of going away from some of the darker stuff that he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, even his Sonic stuff, I don't think that's dark, but he's been in that stuff lately.
Yeah, it's just voice fun stuff that he'd rather be doing, I guess.
So, after you saw Ulvin this for the first time, I know this is really fresh for you. What do you think? I mean, do you consider it a classic? Do you consider it, you know?
Okay. I consider it a classic for sure.
Yeah, I like the movie so much because it took a lot of people who were kind of like, even Johnny Depp was unknown back then, and you had strong acting for a young cast, and it made it believable. Like, just like Anubis said, when he first saw it, it was terrifying for him. I never got that scared by it, but I don't know. I thought it was scary, but it didn't, like, there's other things that I've watched that like Poltergeist scares the shit out of me. I've only watched it twice in my life.
Like, okay, so if you want to talk, so it's the one scene where Freddy is, okay, so I got scared, and it's Freddy pops up, and it's not the final scenes. Before that, after the traps, they're chasing him, you know. Oh shoot! I wrote it on my notes where there's so much detail I went into with this movie. That's why it took a little bit longer.
It's okay. Well, tell us your thoughts. Like,
yeah, but it's the I do like the fire effects.
That was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad. The thing is, it's like Jason in a sense, also, because you know how Jason, his weakness is his mother, you know, because that's what its personality. Freddy's is the opposite; it's fire. So, I mean, it's like you humanize the villain in a sense that way. And I think that's unique. It's fresh. It's different at the time for it. It's definitely, you know, one of those unique, atmospheric, interesting, intriguing details with the movie that you can do with a horror villain. I mean, not a lot of characters, you know, in horror stuff and are humanized a lot. I noticed.
Well, that's what made Freddy so terrifying, because in other horror films, you're always dealing with like a physical entity. It doesn't matter what it is, slasher, Jason, Mike Myers, whatever. But Freddy, he was able to go into your mind in your dream.
Mm-hmm.
That's like more terrifying than someone who's actually chasing you in real life. So the fact that
and he can kill you in real life.
Yeah.
Like, you're asleep, but he can still kill you.
Yeah, and that's what made him so different from a lot of the other, you know, horror creatures that we grown up as horror fans and viewers. So again, it's one of those things where Wes Craven was pretty ingenious about how he created this particular character. And yeah, man, I mean, he made a whole freaking franchise out of this thing. So
I think my favorite kill scene was Johnny Depp's death. The blood.
I've seen the behind the dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's so amazing.
So,
it was so crazy.
So
mine is the first girl that gets killed.
Tina.
Yeah.
I just love the creativity behind that they basically nailed and or glued everything down and did it that way.
And she's just like, and then there was the blanket, and it was insane.
And so well acted, because again, like watching it with you today, like the minute she drops to the bed and plops over, like it's a good like boom, boom, you know, and she just flies out like it's crazy good. Love the special effects, love the blood in this. Very good stuff. Even the later on when Nancy's dealing with Freddy, like that tongue through the phone, like
Oh yeah.
it's such good stuff, man. Like it's so cool.
And did you notice, like, as the movie went on, like Nancy's hair was getting white, like, and she was like, because she was so scared all the time and she wasn't sleeping. There's always been a little controversy about how the film ended. Like, so many people have always came up with like, what does it really mean? Because this movie, they didn't think it was going to turn into like this multi-movie franchise the way it did. They just were making a movie. And, you know, and the 80s slashers just got really big. So they just,
Jedi.
so they just started, you know, making more Freddy Krueger movies. And then in 3, Nancy's back.
Great film.
Mm-hmm. So there's so much like controversy over like, what does the ending really mean? And some people say, well,
yeah, I think they were trying to suggest that maybe the entire film was just a dream, or they were still in a dream-like state. So
but
I always thought it was kind of a mistake because it's better if it ends the one way, even if they allow the car to become like what it was, like. And this will go back to Wolf earlier when we were in the werewolf discussion about the girl on the train, Powell. The mother being pulled through that little door, that the little thing. I just started laughing every time I see it.
I do too, because it's just like
it's impossible.
Yeah,
right? It's just so impossible. But
it takes you out of it for a second.
It does.
That was a New Line mandated that to be tacked on the ending because Wes's original ending was when she turned back on him, he lost his power and he definitively died. But they wanted that little stinger that he was still alive so they could leave the door open for a sequel.
And like I said, I don't mind the car part, like where you see the top come back down. It's like in the sweater look and. You know, the kids are screaming, like, that would have been fine. But that whole, like, door thing, like, I'm just like...
Just don't suck the mother through the window, yeah.
Just don't do that.
Now, that's another...
Oh, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
The way they handled the mother's death, that's another one of the few compliments I'll give the remake, because she still dies. But in this one, she's standing behind a mirror, and he reaches through the mirror, grabs her, and pulls her in.
Oh...
See, that's not bad. That's actually better.
Well, see, technically, she dies when Freddy gets her and they get sucked into the bed.
Yeah.
So some people are saying that this post and the post ending where they're the mother's, because she's like, I want my friends back, I want my family back, and you can't take I'm taking all your power away from you, and you see him like fizzle out. Some people are saying that little end scene is really the mother's death, like what the mother was dreaming and died, like what she was seeing while she was in bed dying.
That would have been a pretty cool end, actually. Great movie. Right now, I'm watching The Taking a Pelham. I've seen that. It's pretty good.
Hey, listen, anything with Denzel and John Travolta, so...
Good actress.
So yeah, like Nancy's ending, like everybody really did die. It's not like they all magically came back. That little end dream sequence, it's very ethereal. It's meant to look like it is a dream. And I just was on here, like on the internet, listening to everybody's theories. And someone said, like, my theory is, and it's never been confirmed, it's just somebody's opinion, and I liked it, is that end sequence is what Nancy's mother was dreaming when she died.
Okay.
And then they're like, that's just my headcanon, because she had to die in her dream to die in real life.
Yeah.
And the whole like, because Nancy's mom was a drinker, and so that whole part where she's like, I'm not going to drink anymore. I just decided I'm not going to. I just don't feel like it. And then she just hugs her kid, and so yeah, that could be a possibility. But then that's how they ended the movie. But then in 3, Nancy and her father are still alive, and everybody else is dead.
Well, that would have been kind of cool if they was taking that ending. I still hate that through the window thing. But let's say you take that and you place it after Freddy takes her and burns into the bed, and then also you hit that scene, and then after that is when we go to where Nancy is back in the bedroom and she's telling Freddy, like, you can't hold any power over me. So that might have worked, because then we could say, yeah, maybe the mother was dreaming that sequence that referred to her, and then that was her death. So that probably would have worked out.
That mother's dream does kind of work with me, because I could believe that her deep wish would be to put down the bottle, and it's something she would dream about.
Which is another thing I love about this film, mainly because you're not just dealing with a child killer, but now you're dealing with a vigilante force of parents who killed this guy to make sure he paid. Which to me always kind of, and I'm pretty sure this is where Twisted Sister got Captain Howdy from, because when they went to do Strangeland, this theme is the same. Like vigilante parents go and kill this child killer, and he comes back to get revenge. And so that I really like that aspect about this film, because as Nancy starts figuring out who Freddy Krueger is, all of a sudden, she starts figuring out that her mom, her dad, and some of these other people have killed this guy.
So they're not good people.
Right.
They're protective of their children, but they're not. Then another theory, this is another crazy one, is that the whole thing obviously is a nightmare, right? It's the mother's nightmare, and that Nancy, and the reason the mother is such a drunk is because Nancy was one of the victims, and the
really good,
and the little girls that you see doing is young Nancy, and that again they've done 100 different, but if you just take it as a standalone film, so like,
yeah, but that makes it such a cool approach.
So like the whole thing is really the mother dealing with her alcoholism. The mother is the one who
sorrow.
And then she's dreaming it about the adult Nancy, and then she's also guilty because they killed him, and then now it just plays out, and she finally gets killed in her dream by Freddy.
The first one really is the most ambiguous as to what is a dream and what isn't.
The one scare I was going to say that jumped me, and I found it, is when Nancy smashes the pot on Freddy's head. She locks the door on him, and he breaks it open. As soon as she woke up, I jumped, literally. That was my jump scare right there on that film.
A good moment is just when she's doing the sleep study, and they're determining like whether or not she's asleep and whether or not her nightmares are plaguing her. And she has that dream, and she wakes up, and then everyone's asking her if she's okay, and she pulls out that hat. And there goes Anthony's pulling out his hat. And that's like a very spine-tingling thing, because even her mom is like looking at this like, where did you get this?
Because she remembers who it belongs to.
Right. So
there is a nice, that is like logically something that it sets up. You can die in your dream. If he cuts you in your dream, you're cut in real life. So really, it makes sense if you grab a hold of something like she did with the hat. When she waked up, she would have the hat in her hand.
And that's where it sets up where she figures out that, okay, if I can grab his hat, then that means I can bring him into my world, and then he will be a physical form.
One thing,
and that was really clever too. She had her her watch set and everything, and that was very clever.
Yeah.
One thing I would like if they ever did it is an origin movie for Freddy. even though they say the story and stuff, it would be cool to do a prequel movie.
There's a fan film on YouTube called The Confession of Fred Krueger. I think it's about somewhere between 15 to 45 minutes. And it shows after he gets arrested and he gives a little bit of his life story. And it ends with him burning the confession tape. And that's when it goes, because he knows like the paperwork wasn't signed properly or whatever, and he's going to get off. So something happens at the jailhouse and he just burns the confession tape. It's really, really good. And the guy who played pre-Nightmare Demon Fred Krueger did an amazing job.
Oh, really?
I'll have to find it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check that out because I would. You're right, Alvin. It would be a good movie. Like if they did a full movie. It would be, but I don't know if it would ever fly nowadays because it's about abusing children, and I don't know if like people.
Well, it would have to be independent.
Yeah, I don't know if any movie theater.
And it's probably going to be more because we're not dealing with supernatural. It'll be more in a vein of like Silence of the Lambs or something like that. So, which I'm all for. Give it to me. Give it to me.
More Freddy Krueger, please.
Mm-hmm.
The video's in the group chat.
Oh, thank you.
Cool.
Definitely gonna watch it.
Sometime for sure. I think I'm excited to hear. I was excited to hear then on Halloween Friday that England's going into the onto the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, yay!
And so he finally deserves his rights because I mean he's probably played that. He's probably played that character the most.
He is Freddy Krueger, right? Like,
It's cool to like how many like little things he like wasn't in the script he put into the character. Like in this movie, how he has kind of that sideways lean, and that was something when he was first given the glove. It wasn't super heavy, but it was heavier than he thought it would be. So he incorporated that into his posture as Freddy, where his arm would kind of lean to the side.
Cool. I didn't know that until you said that.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just reading some more like fan theories.
No, I really like the one about the mother. It's actually very intuitive and insightful.
Mm-hmm.
The mom went to sleep apologizing and making up with Nancy, ridding herself of the guilt of not telling her about Freddy and deciding not to drink out of the liquor bottle to sleep. Proceeds to dream about a beautiful day, sending a well-rested Nancy off to school with her friends alive, deciding to stop drinking only then to be killed in real life by a burning Freddy, ultimately killing her in real life and in her dream. In the ending, Nancy didn't talk about it being over or Krueger being dead either. Ironic how Freddy kills in dreams and you die in real life, whereas with the mom, he killed her in real life and she died in her dream.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I love hearing all the fan theories, and like I always the ending, same thing I said. I'm like, what really was the real? And they purposely left it ambiguous just to make people do this. Go, what was really happening?
That really does make a lot of sense.
So do you think, again, these are all just theories? Because we know Nancy shows up again in 3, and then what's the one that was it New Nightmare or the remake Nightmare or whatever, where she shows up as the actress and she plays
New Nightmare where she's playing herself.
Yeah.
So in 3, they brought Nancy back. So we have to think, okay, something really did happen and the mother's dead and all her friends are dead. So it really did happen. And what one was it where they started making them take those pills so they wouldn't dream?
That's
3.
It is, okay.
Well, no, there's another one. Well, they actually
Freddy
did so
versus
that,
Jason was where they came back.
Mhm.
yeah, it was to make them stop having dreams or nightmares or something like that.
Because we're like, he's back, he's coming back. How do you know he's coming back? Is there like a sign or something? Like,
Well, it's cool because they did kind of stay with the theme even through Freddy versus Jason, where that was the big catalyst for Freddy. But Freddy versus Jason, like, I don't have enough power. I need something to get me my power back, which he used Jason to do. So I kind of
remember when we went to see Freddy versus Jason?
Yes,
that was one of the that was one of our first dates. We were just met. It was that summer.
I actually, that one, I had a friend that worked at the movie theater at the time, and he actually let me in for free to see that.
Oh,
cool. Nice.
Oh.
Well, she technically got it free too.
Did I?
I honestly think if they're going to do another Freddy versus Jason, I think I want to see Ash included in that universe because they have Ash in the comics. So I think it would be interesting to see Ash slice it up with his chainsaw arm.
Yeah. You might as well now, right?
Well, the problem is,
this week the hope for is an animated movie.
Yeah, you can't, because Campbell's not going to do it, and he's the only guy that's going to do it.
He said he'd still love to play Ash, but he's just too old.
Uh-huh.
Well, he did the Old Man Ash series.
No, that's still like almost 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about Ash versus Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I honestly think you could do so much with all of these characters. I mean, they can cross over into each other's worlds over and over again.
Well, I just wish they would have done them because even when they were playing around, so you remember when the one Friday the 13th had Freddy's glove come up out of the ground, taking his mask. That was like the start of that.
Mm-hmm.
But they dabbled with like Pinhead against Michael Myers. They dabbled with Ash versus whatever. And the thing is, you just wait too long, and those guys that portray these characters, it just gets passed by. And so now you're kind of go ahead.
That ending on Jason Goes to Hell, that was Kane Hodder wearing the glove.
Oh, was it really?
Like, if you really want to get technical, you can say Kane Hodder played Freddy.
That's funny. But yeah, I remember the big hoopla about that because I'm like, oh my God, Freddy versus Jason. That'd be so great. And eventually they did do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think would have been a good crossover? The Tall Man and Pinhead.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would have liked to see maybe Michael Myers versus Candyman. That would have been cool.
He just brought up a Michael Myers fan theories idea.
Oh.
Well, there's always been like Halloween 6 deals with Satanism and the occult with Michael Myers, so that certainly could have played a factor into a Cenobite Pinhead.
Oh yeah.
With Cube and stuff. So it just depends on how they would have written it. But again, you have to be smart about it. Like Freddy versus Jason was actually very fun, very well done. They took it seriously enough to figure out how they were going to bring the two guys together, and it worked. It worked out fine.
But to say that, it's like saying that's not the best one. You know what I mean? In a sense.
It's not the best what?
Like if you're going to rank it, that's something to be debated. We should do that, down the road. I would like to do that, like
of what, of all the Nightmare on Elm Streets, or are we debating Freddy versus Jason?
I said above Friday the 13th and the Elm Streets in the future. I would like to look at the other Elm Streets.
Well, I know I think it would be on the Friday the 13th.
Oh, I want to do the Friday the 13th as well. I mean, I own one of them now, thanks to a friend digitally.
If you think that if you watched the werewolf stream we did, and you think that Anthony was controversial, you didn't seem controversial until you got me in the Friday the 13th series.
I haven't seen as many of the Friday the 13th as.
I have to go back and watch a lot of them, but I've seen pretty much all of them.
And I was. Freddy, Nightmare on Elm Street was always my thing. And my girlfriend and I, the one that is also obsessed with Freddy Krueger, we I'm trying to think. It wasn't Dream Warriors. It was a Dream Child that came out, and the
It's
two,
our boy.
and then the two girls where they would like hold hands and they go into the same dream. My girlfriend and I, we tried that so hard. Like anytime we would be staying over each other's house, I'm like, all right, we're holding hands. We're gonna do it tonight. So, and it never worked, unfortunately.
Yeah, you girls are demanding.
Who? Tiffany and I?
Trying to hook up with Freddy Krueger.
We weren't trying to hook up with Freddy Krueger. We just wanted to meet him.
Hey, Freddy, want to play?
We had a Freddy Krueger Ken doll. We used to play this game in the, like, we were in the pool and Freddy would come to the pool and chase us. Like, we were obsessed with Freddy Krueger. And then we would play in the basement. I'm talking, we were kids. We were like under 10 years old. And we would turn all the lights off in the basement. And it was one of those old style switches that would make like a thunk when you turn it off and that thunk. And my mom and dad knew when we were, playing scary stuff because they'd hear the lights turn out. And then we'd be running around the basement screaming, going, and I don't know. We just had an imagination. See, back when I was young, back in the old days.
Well, don't tell me it was Spin the Freddy.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I didn't have cable for a lot of years growing up, so I had to use my imagination.
We loved playing with our Barbie.
If you ever saw, because I could think around the time that I saw, and I actually my glove was a garden glove. And I up scissors going through the fingers, but it's nothing as elaborate as what he's got.
I mean,
But I think there's a part of us that, kind of fantasize about being that kind of villain,
meow.
having that control.
Hi. No, we wanted to be chased by Freddy. I don't know. But you also have to think, like, back in the 80s, you had television with like 10 channels. You didn't have iPhones or iPads or YouTube that you could just like do whatever. I mean, it had a Nintendo. It's about the best of the like gaming stuff that we had. You had to entertain yourself and play, and you have to use your imagination.
My introduction to Nightmare was actually because I had to go to the hospital once.
Oh no!
I woke up one day with the croup and I had to go to the hospital.
Oh,
and it was an ordeal. I also got Godzilla vs. Biollante on VHS after, so that was worth it. But that night, like, my mom was looking through TV and she saw remember the old late movies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dream Warriors was on the late movies, and I'm like, I want to see that. And my mom's like, well, I probably shouldn't, but after the day you had and what you went through, you can watch it.
Oh, yeah, that's just kind of, you had what you had, like you watched, and that's what I was kind of saying to Anubis, like when I got into Godzilla and Kung Fu, because again, I'm older, Anubis is real old, but like a lot of the TV channels went off at midnight, right? Or after midnight, it was Kung Fu, Godzilla.
Hey, Night Jedi, brother.
Night Jedi, or what do you call it? Like the home shopping infomercials. And I was always a late night owl. So that's how I got into all this stuff.
The late 90s, if it's after 2 a.m, it's either infomercials, movies no one cares about, or if you're really lucky, a horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched a lot of Kung Fu, and I just was always a night owl. I didn't like to go to bed. And a lot of Godzilla, because it was always on.
Back in the 90s, even if you just had basic cable, if you were willing to stay up late on a Saturday night, you could get a good movie education.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That was like the funnest part. Like, I'd wait most of my Saturdays or Friday nights saying, oh, yeah, I'm waiting for Elvira to come on around 9 or 10 o'clock. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
So
And Alvin's so young, he didn't have that experience. He did, the TV didn't go. The TV didn't go off.
Today, if the fucking TV ended at midnight, they would cry because I cried.
What about who remember when your TV would get so old that when you would turn it on, it would take a few seconds for the picture to come on?
And it would be like fuzzy, like you would feel the static coming off of the TV. Remember that?
I've gotten more than a few shocks from that.
And even when you have the bunny ears to get the signal, like sometimes.
Oh.
And come on, I want to watch it.
You convinced yourself that putting foil on them would get better reception.
Yeah.
Or you'd get somebody to hold them, because if you held it, it would work.
If I had a friend, he was like moving it, and it was like a football.
Stay there.
I said, "Don't move, don't move. Let's go." And he goes back. I'm like, "No." He's like, "I can't see it again." I'm like, "I don't care, but I can."
And then in my grandparents' house, and so even in our house, baby, like our old house, we had an antenna on the roof. We still had that antenna, that 1960s antenna on the roof. We never took it off of our house. It was a pride thing. It was going to stay there forever. It was completely useless because now everything is digital, but it was an over-the-air antenna. And I remember on my grandparents' house, they had that antenna. And if you're trying to get, you could it would turn to get signal.
Uh-huh.
And I have no idea how it worked. And I'm sure my grandfather put it up and drilled a hole through the attic. But that antenna was like the antenna for the whole house. And surprised my grandfather didn't electrocute himself putting that thing up there.
I remember with the rabbit ears, it was possible to get the signal in, but because it wasn't just right, the picture would be black and white.
Mm-hmm.
I spent many hours fighting with the thing because I wanted it in color, not black and white.
Or it would be you get the squiggles and you could hear them, but you couldn't see them. You're like, oh. Yeah. Where my bedroom was, and I had teeny tiny TV. It wasn't even, it was just you might be lucky to get one channel on it, but where it was in the house, I got and I don't know why, I guess because the TV I got a Washington DC station that always was playing B-rated movies. So that's this is before cable and everything, but that's what I would be watching, as I go to sleep, or the good old days. What do you think, Anubis?
Yeah.
Did you have a little teeny tiny TV in your room when you were little?
Yeah. That's
it was this tiny.
But I would do the worst things for myself. This is why sometimes my memory with certain movies will flip. So I would turn it on late at night, keep it low. I didn't want my parents to hear it, but then there'd be a scary movie on, so then I would turn the channel to something else real quick and then come back. So sometimes I try to miss the main scary scenes.
And then it took effort. It was boom,
especially the bigger one.
Uh-huh.
You're
yeah. You know what's interesting? What if they set a Nightmare on Elm Street in that era, a new old what if they get into that era for a movie, when they had the I mean that feels like that era though for the movie. And
it does. Yeah, they captured the early 80s.
That little box TV on his
what?
bed.
See, I mean, I want to know what a Nightmare on Elm Street would feel like in the now modern era, because everything is digital now,
it would be
Well, they kind of did that with the Scream franchise. They kind of updated some of their technology to reflect what's going on now. So
yeah, wouldn't it be what if he could come through the internet and get you?
Man.
And he could Freddy would just come through. Oh my God, it would be The Ring. That's another one.
Oh, Shocker kind of did too. So.
The Ring is another one that I've only seen twice because it scared me so much the first time. We watched that together when it first came out the first time, and we were in the basement of my parents' house. It was late at night and it was dark as fuck down there. And my parents had one of those giant tube TVs. And we were like sleeping on the sofa bed downstairs. And I'm like, let's go back up to my bedroom. I don't want to be around this television.
All right. Well, let's go. Anthony, man, let's get your final thoughts and your rating for A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984.
High, just very high marks. While it's not my favorite in the franchise, it's a classic. It's in my top three. I'm just throwing them out there, not in the particular order, but would be this, Dream Warriors, and New Nightmare. But all three of them I would give between 9.5 to like 10s for what they are. Like, I love those films, and this is the one that started it all. And before we go, I also have to throw in one person we really didn't mention in this video, the late great John Saxon, who absolutely like nailed his role. To me, his character made me think Chief Brody with a dark secret.
Yes. Yep.
That is such a good analysis.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Neko, your turn.
10 out of 10. 100% would recommend. I think I would give a 10 out of 10, I think, to every single Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I think 2, Freddy's Revenge, is like my least favorite, but a lot of people
That's starting to grow on me.
yeah, it's starting to grow on me more, especially now when they're kind of like talking about how and they purposefully made it the way that they did, and it like started making more sense to me now that I'm older and a little bit more mature. But
yeah,
I love 1, 3, and 4 the most, I think. But I think I'd give a 10 out of 10 to every. What do you have? Show me.
That's my DVD set.
I need that.
they'll send it to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you hear that, Anthony?
Yeah. Well, I can get my hand on the new Blu-ray 4K set with the extended version of Dream Child. I might be willing to get rid of this one.
According to Anubis, I heard you don't have 4K. Am I right?
We do not have 4K.
No, but he's talking for himself.
No, we
No. Did you hear you saying he would give you the part with the DVD if he got the 4K for himself?
Right. So the regular DVD would work with us. The 4K would.
we have DVD and Blu-ray, but we do not have 4K. And I'm at the point where I'm like done upgrading. Like,
I am too. Like, I have some. If I get like a 4K, it's going to be like the 4K with the Blu-ray disc. My Xbox can play 4K discs if I want, but like, I'm not spending like $150 for a 4K player.
Right.
I'm too, like, in my lifetime, this is how it's gone. 8 tracks, cassettes, records, CDs, DVDs. I can't keep buying the same shit over and over and over again.
Let's be real with the 4K. Like, some of movies like this and some of the older horror films we grew up with,
We don't want them in 4K.
part of what made those movies so creepy was that you couldn't see everything crystal clear. And now when you can see everything that crystal clear, for me, part of the creepy factor is gone.
I agree 100%. I don't think I want some stuff in 4K. Stuff like Avatar belongs in 4K. Like, stuff that's like overly produced already will look great in 4K.
I don't want anything to do with that series.
I haven't even seen the second one. I've only seen the first one.
No, 1 was enough for me.
I think Anubis went to see the second one, didn't you?
Which one?
Of Avatar?
Actually.
All right, Olvin, tell us about
Or
yours.
do you want to go, Anubis?
I'll go first. This is his show, so
We'll let him go last. Save the best for last.
definitely an all-time classic. One of Wes Craven's best films, without a doubt. I still love Dream Warriors a lot. I'm very like Anthony and Neko. I'm very close with how I like Dream Warriors, but I still give the nod to this one just because it is the OG of the bunch, and it actually has Freddy at his rawest, his most evil. Like he doesn't really cracking jokes here. He's just straight up slashing and action. Like he doesn't give a fuck about it. So really, just overall, this is still a classic. 10 out of 10, easily.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that about this Freddy as his rawest. I was actually talking to someone about the remake once, and this person's reasoning was it was bad because Freddy wasn't funny. And I'm like, have you seen the original?
Right.
Well, I'm not pretending that movie's a masterpiece, but that was a dark, serious Freddy too. So if you're going to go by that, you also have to throw the original under the bus.
Yeah, the first one is dark. It's like I can remember the exact moment that Freddy became larger than life. It was at the end of the second film when he's at the pool scene, and then there's this student, this kid. He's like, "Hey, man, we can help you, man. You know, you need help." And he's like, "Help yourself, fucker." And that's really the first time you get like this really carnal, ridiculous Freddy saying, you know,
with some quips and
quip. And then that became into Dream Warriors, where he started cracking his one-liners. He became like, you know, a funny guy.
Robert is on record saying the Freddy Nightmare on Elm Street 2, that was his favorite makeup for the character.
Oh, okay. Now I need to revisit it again to like kind of, because again, like you said, Anubis, it's growing on me as I mature.
Well, I remember kind of liking it. I remember because I saw it really by accident. I remember when it first came out, I was like cable at that point, and I was like, I didn't realize he would put a second film out, so like I didn't know it was out there, so I was watching it. And it starts out very well. Like, it's a little bit different, but I did notice certain things. And I said, okay, so we got this gay gym teacher, and this guy, our main character is like, he's involved with this girl, but you can tell the chemistry isn't quite there. And so in my mind, I'm thinking the way this guy acts as a character is a little bit too gay, but yet they have this relationship. So it isn't until years later that I realized the actor actually is gay, and that the whole film is sort of designed to be addressing that.
Yeah, being closeted back then, and there was so much.
Even with Krueger coming out of the body, was coming out of the closet. It's like there's a lot of these innuendos and stuff that they're showing up in there.
Well, I mean, at that time in the 80s too, with everything going on with AIDS and all.
Go ahead, Anthony.
He's frozen. In a really cool pose too.
So a little bit of talking to you in the chat.
I got a little bit of a fan theory about the gym teacher. The only other adult we've seen Freddy go out of his way to kill till this point was someone that was involved in his death, and we see this gym teacher as a real creep. I think that gym teacher was secretly an accomplice of his that got away with it. So you could kind of say that's the title, Freddy's Revenge, because when Freddy kills his accomplice that got away, Freddy's getting revenge on him.
True.
I love that.
He always says this. Tony can't talk because he can't get his own shit right on his own channel. I'm serious. Like, he'll be on my channel, do a stream, and he sounds perfectly fine, and then he goes and he fucking does it on his, and he sounds like it.
Hey, Tony, how do I sound? Because I have a really nice microphone now.
No, you always sound good because you have a loud voice.
I know how to project. I'm a performer.
Just watch Close of Midnight next time, and Tony and Anubis will be doing jokes with each other again, I bet.
Freddy got him.
Yeah.
Give us your final thoughts.
Did you say your score? I don't think I heard you.
I said 10 out of 10.
Okay.
10. A 10.
It's a 10.
For me, it's also a 10 out of 10. Freddy is so iconic. He's a horror movie villain. He's eerie, dark, cool, interesting. Neko projects ?
Well, you want to see the real horror film? Just wait for tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
It is not a hard. It's a wonderful film. A very funny.
Well, we'll talk about it.
You know what? We'll save it for tomorrow. We'll stream it after the Bronco game.
Yeah.
Oh, you're streaming it?
Nah, just record it. I'll put it up.
If you did live it, that little wolf over here on the chat would probably be best.
I know, right? Little Wolf will have us laughing.
It's funny. He just said Anubis about Anubis.
Well, after seeing you shirtless, Little Wolf, I'm amazed he's slept since then.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Little Wolf. No, I'm sorry, you're not Big Bad Wolf. I can tell you're working out. And I said that the other day. I was like, John looks really good. I can tell he's been working out. So, and I'm a girl.
You mentioned that with working out. I noticed when I was editing a video the other day, I can actually see more definition in my arms now.
Yeah, you got to take your shirt off, though, Anthony, so I can see you without a shirt.
That's all flab. No one should see it. The face is thinning out.
Your face is thinning out. I can tell.
What?
No, his face is like getting thinner.
No,
you can tell.
what he said.
Oh, shit. That's why.
I know it's a joke.
What happened?
No, he doesn't like people to call on him.
What's wrong, baby?
There. Now I guess we're good.
What's wrong?
Oh, my mic went off for some reason.
Oh, so you were being picked up on my mic?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, no, baby.
Okay.
It's all good.
But I sound better.
But does it sound different now? Because no one mentioned anything.
Oh, you sound better.
Yeah, because
So that's the
her
way
mic was picking me up when mine went down. No one told me.
So we have like a digital mixing board, and it's all ran through his computer. And because we're so like, I'm like right here,
I'm
like
gonna
I
have to keep this like to the side so I
so
can
you can
see
look.
it.
It's called Banana Meter, and
It's like an equalizer or soundboard for my computer.
because if we didn't do that, because
There'd be
we're so
feedback.
close, we get too much feedback off of each other. But it's crazy because it happened to me one time too, where my mic stopped, but your mic was picking me up.
I was gonna say upcoming content.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah, no, I just tomorrow we have more rated R for rom-com with me and Neko. That's her new series where I'm subjected to the horror films that she puts in front of me, and I have to review them with her. My pick for ghouls coming up will be Terrifier 3, which is much to Tony's chagrin. He doesn't really want to too much.
Tony's probably hiding in the corner, freaking out about it.
Now he gets scared about the nuns.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But he doesn't really like Terrifier either, which is interesting because he's a big clown dude. So it kind of surprises me that he doesn't really like the film.
I'm anti-clown.
Hey, Anubis, he's talking to you about it right now.
Terror really my cup of tea either.
I won't let him know anymore.
No, I mean it's fine. Just, when you say it a lot, so like I thought you were fucking around, whereas it really was down, but nobody else said anything.
No.
He
And then he just said,
headphones.
he just talked about your movie choice.
Oh well, I know he says he's like me. He says the second one was better story wise, which is true. I think I don't know if he saw the third one yet. Maybe he did. I can't remember. But either way, I think the third one is still like kind of like the second one in terms of story. So it's going to be better. I've enjoyed them. I thought they're better than I thought they would be. Nope. So maybe I'm just weird because I went in with no expectations whatsoever.
Okay, is that?
I don't think I've seen any of them.
Upcoming content.
They're violent. That's pretty much all I got right now. I mean, I'm gonna put some stuff in later in the week that I'll do. November, I know for sure that I'll start doing more of my kaiju stuff as well as vintage cult cinema. So I'll be get some more of those out.
Except for on November 8th because it's my birthday.
And I was gonna say, can you tease who the first person on the kaiju stuff is yet? Or
Not yet because I haven't really figured that
probably
part out.
next week? Can you announce that next week?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep people updated on that.
I was gonna say I thought I could see Geek being the first on the with you.
I don't know. I'll figure it out. I know. I think I was talking with Jake at one point.
Oh, he's asking just now about it.
Yeah, that's going to start back in November. I still have that big ass list of stuff. So you guys are good.
Monsters.
Hmm?
You still have a lot of monsters?
Oh yeah, well I have the list that people chose, and then stuff that you had to look at through too. So, so there's a lot coming up in that regard for the next year or so.
Cool. I'm very
Mhm.
excited for you.
Yeah, we're doing different eras of Godzilla and stuff too. So
Ooh. So like -1, for example, could be an era.
And
Well,
the legendary is gonna
that
be its own
version, yeah. So
thing.
someone might have Shin Godzilla, someone might have -1 or Godzilla 85, which I think might be Anthony. I think that's one that he really loves. So it just depends. I have to go back and look at the list, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, upcoming content?
Well, finishing my Montobers finished up for the last 6 days of the month. I have one video set to premiere each day, but the two I'm most excited about is me experimenting with storytelling. One is where I talk about a hypothetical Halloween 1 and 2 remake, and this is more of a rough draft where I talk about some things I would change around. Like in my interpretation, Laurie Strode gets killed off fairly early on. And we have another one of the characters who is the final girl. And I think I could do something cool with that, but you'll just have to watch. And the day before Halloween, the one I'm most excited about, I produced a audio recording of my own original story called The Wolf Stalks Grizzly Country, which is about 3 friends that go camping deep woods in grizzly country. They encounter a werewolf, and there's only one survivor.
Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
fantastic.
Oh boy. For me, I'll just start off this one. Our next pick on Savants, we go back to the 007 Bang Bang era.
Bang,
We go back to Agent Sean Connery as Bond in should be his 4th outing in Thunderball.
Oh, I love Thunderball.
Well, maybe you'll have to join us for that.
That's
Yeah.
next week, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
I'll be too exhausted next. I'm going to be out and busy all day next Saturday.
And
Okay.
Friday.
And also with November, we have a big ranking. So I've been working on something for that, like a little intro thing, like for the
Cool.
a little tribute kind of thing to look at, for the 007 stuff, because, why not? Because, you're doing a whole franchise and it's kind of cool, doing a little tribute making thing, for the franchise. I mean, it had a big anniversary this last month or the month before. I can't remember. Whenever Dr. No's anniversary is, whenever the franchise's birthday is, other than the Bond stuff and Savants, for me, I am also now starting my channel intro thing. So we'll have that. I found music for that as well. So, I'll be doing channel trailers, all that. Oh,
Cool.
channel trailers. I might do some tributes here and there at the Tokusatsu stuff as well. Me and Gojira 851 have 2 projects upcoming in the future. we have the Gears of War Reloaded series, and then
Oh,
we also have our unboxing comics series, and our first character is Killer Croc for the Tokusatsu Action Henshin Revolution podcast. I always get the name lost for whatever reason. We have Android Kikaider. We're going to do the first 4 episodes, talk about it, discuss it. Henshin Highlight. Anthony will be on the stuff as well. The Henshin Revolution, the Henshin Highlight.
I've never heard of that.
And the Henshin Highlight is where we're going to talk about the lore of the characters, go into details on the characters and all that stuff. I know me and Anubis have an interview planned also in the future with the director as soon as, things are moving. Things are moving well with that, so that's the positive.
That's great.
So, I mean, we got a Werewolf movie to check out, and I'm sure maybe December we might do some more horror stuff if you're up for more horror stuff in December, Anubis. I don't know if there's a couple of movies that I just saw that were on Max and other and on Tubi now that I want to check out. Like one is Fright Night.
Yeah, you need to see Fright Night. I love that movie.
We might have to get you on that when we do it.
Yeah, Fright Night's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would for sure like to continue this franchise in the future, like with the Fridays as well. Because I don't think I've seen all the Fridays. I know for a fact I've never seen any of these other than the first one. So it's like,
You got the first one.
I need to see more of this.
What?
Well, you gotta see Dream Warriors. That's a
I'll say-
must.
Another one you definitely need to do at some point, Near Dark.
Yep.
Say what?
It's a
Near
vampire
Dark.
movie called Near Dark.
He's writing it down. He's like, near.
Well, of course, they're still recording. He's giving out stuff he's doing, Wolf.
Um,
Have you I don't think he knows where we do the tan. Have you seen Varsity Blues?
No, Tony does, for sure.
No, I mean Alvin. Have you seen?
No,
Varsity?
he's not. You know, he hasn't.
He hasn't seen Varsity Blues.
oh, Little Wolf. Okay. You're funny tonight.
You're funny tonight. I'm just wondering because it's a good movie too. It's not scary or anything, but it's like a teenage movie from the 90s.
The reason I say that mostly Anubis and me covered action and all that action stuff, like the Bonds, like
Well, let's be fair. We did Chitty Chitty Bang Bang too.
Yeah.
We did do Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
yeah, and then we did we haven't done the Batmans yet. We haven't done the Supermans, the Spider-Mans, all that fun Marvel stuff. We haven't done any Marvel movies, so that's probably for sure coming in the future. I want to do. I don't know if you're up for doing any of the Marvel stuff.
What do you think, Anubis? What are you going to do? Marvel?
I don't know. I'm not in a rush to do those
No,
currently.
I know. I'm saying it's just pipeline stuff.
Right.
What about some Christopher Reeve Superman?
I would do the first one. Or no, actually, I'd do the second one. That's like my favorite.
Well, let us know in the comments below. Do you like, what you dislike about this movie? You know, is it a 10 out of 10 for you? Is it something? Is it something you'll check out?
Anthony is saying it's a 4 out of 10.
He gives it 4 razor blades up.
Oh boy.
He gives it 4 knives.
Oh, no.
Technically, the first movie, they were steak knives.
Really?
Yeah. He reshaped them.
Yeah, like the prop master went to a hardware store and got the 4 steak knives and used those.
Really? You had to bring it up.
You guys are too much.
Little Wolf just ruined it.
He ruined it.
But hold on. Let us know what you thought what you think about overall about this film, and is it something you'll check out, in the future if you've never seen it. But anyways, this has been Silver Screen Savants Horror Review number 11, A Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. We will see you next Saturday for Thunderball! Until then, see ya next Saturday.
Peace out.
Mhm.